The final shot before the break, Stanford. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Most teams in the league hitting the three-quarter pole in the preseason. The whole league will be in action next Thursday night to wrap it all up. And then we start for real a week after that with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game. As we get set to resume play in the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Gotta go.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
The Bears on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a lion that's shaken up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Riddick with a carry. So a nice job to break the one. Tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go back to Reddick. And a short gain here as he gets it up. 6. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times. On offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for them.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Over the middle here to Wilson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And fights through one man. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw is Stafford. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So the score... drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Again, it's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Shane Ray able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
They'll come up. Second and 6 now from the 24. To throw on second down is Stafford. Looking left sideline, incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Out to the flat for Riddick. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. Because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
23 yards on the play. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence. Right now, throwing the football, I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Bears on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Trubisky. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Trubisky with a give to Howard. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They go with Howard again. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Trying to punch it in with Howard into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Howard. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This is where you're probably weighing the score and the clock. 3rd quarter, so maybe it's a little early to start worrying about how much time is left in the game. But if you kick the field goal, you make it a 2-score game. A tough balance and a tough decision for any coach to make.
So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here's Riddick. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Here's second. 7 now from the 28.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. The completion to Riddick. Theo Riddick. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, 72 yards. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot... handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. If they want to be methodical, or they want...
In trouble, and he's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him for his his second sack now here tonight.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
On the ground, it's Reddick. Pretty move. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for fourth down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a first down.
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps.
All right, now, look at 56.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40. 3 extra yards to the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Throwing on 3rd down, Daniel. Under pressure, and down goes Daniel.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blocks... you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Glennon. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That was... a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s, I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that, but a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with. with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Now Glennon.